Hi, I'm Scott Sheldon, and welcome to this episode of Winegazer. Thank you so much for tuning in. I'm excited. Man, I'm excited to do this episode about Merlot. We got 3 wonderful Merlots, hopefully, from Napa Valley, California. And I know, Merlot, it's been down, it's been kicked around, it's been the brunt of jokes. That whole sideways thing, it didn't help, you know. But it's back. I mean, if you look at the crush reports, if you look at sales, it's back. And, you know, some people still view this grape as being one-dimensional, a beginner's grape, simplistic, and that couldn't be any further from the truth. So I'm really excited to share these wines with you today. And let's talk about the origin of Merlot a little bit. It comes from France. It is the genetic descendant of Cabernet Franc. Therefore, it is related to Cabernet Sauvignon. It is one of the 5 grapes that's allowed in Bordeaux blends in France. In the right bank part of Bordeaux, specifically in Saint-Emilion and Pomerol, it makes some of the most incredible wines in the world. Pomerol is the home of Chateau Petrus. That wine is the most famous Merlot in the world, and it's 99% Merlot. Also, if you didn't know, Merlot means little blackbird. So a little factoid for you here on Winegazer. So, enough of me blathering. Let's taste some wine, because that's what we do on the show, if you haven't heard. First wine, Coho Napa Valley Merlot 2009 from the Michael Black Vineyard. 98% Merlot, 2% Cabernet Sauvignon, $55 US, 14.9% alcohol. Wine Advocate gave this 91 points. You give a crap about those scores. I don't think you should care about them too much. Let your palate be the judge, really. This is the partnership of Brooks Painter, winemaker, and Gary Lipp, the business side of things, marketing and sales, if you will. Brooks Painter is also the winemaker at Twomey Wines and Castello di Amorosa in Napa as well. And I think that's about it, right? Okay, 331 cases produced. Let's give it a taste. Oh, cool label, by the way. Got the salmon fish, referring to Coho, of course, kicking it on the label. All right. So wines have been open for 2.5 hours at least. Wanted to try to air them out. Okay. Take a look at the color. Nice garnet. See through it a little bit. You probably can't from your side of the world. Let's get some air into this. I gotta improve on the lighting a little bit, I think. It's hard sometimes, I know, when I hold things up to the camera, you can't really see the color of the wine. And being able to see through it, seeing whether it's clear or dense, it's really hard to tell, I think, from your perspective. That's something I'd like to try to improve on, you know? Let's give it a smell. Alright, so a lot of chalkiness going on the nose. Got some nice fruit, got some nice blackberries, black cherries, like very ripe plum, wonderful cedar component coming through. Yeah, like some mocha, kind of weaving its way in the nose. Let's get a little more air into this. I really would have liked to decant these wines. I should have. I don't know. What were you thinking, Scott? Really nice, savory, like fermented, yeah, soy sauce thing happening on the nose too. I like that. Okay, let's give it a taste. Gorgeous sour cherries. Wow, I love sour cherry candy. So anything that's like sour, tart fruit, I really have a love for it. And wow, that's really beautiful. I like that. Good balance to the wine, nice acidity. Really, really wonderful, sweet, round tannins, no bitterness. I think this wine is just about ready. It can maybe, you know, probably be better, probably would be better like another year from now. I would say 5 to 7 years. You could hang on to it in the cellar. I like that. I love that chalky fruitiness on the nose. This is a big boy. I mean, this is a fruit bomb without being over the top. Because, you know, that can be a fine line sometimes, you know, between when is a fruit bomb just too fruity, too big, too jammy, too over the top, too sweet. The length on this wine too. You know, it's got good structure, good body, and the finish. It just keeps going. I can still enjoying that sour, tart fruit all over my mouth. It's really wonderful. I'm going 3.5 out of 5 stars. Coho Wines. Nice job. Good start to the show. Let's do a quick rinse, move things around, and almost pour this into the wrong vessel, if you will. So before I pour this, let me show you what we got. Cakebread 2009 Napa Valley Merlot. Again, a blend, 95% Merlot and 5% Cabernet Sauvignon. Rolls in at $54 US, 14.1% alcohol. 13 months French oak, if you're keeping score at home. 38% new, and most of the fruit came from the northern part of the Napa Valley, like over 90% of the fruit. A little bit of it coming from the Carneros region, which is southern, got that San Pablo Bay maritime influence, and a winemaker over there, Julian Lax, and I think that's all the factoids for you on this one. And again, cool label. I love wine labels. I know I always say it, I always blather about it, but I really do. Alright, let's give it a pour. Okay, very similar in color to the first wine. You know, I would call it Garnet, kind of medium density. Got a good amount of viscosity, and you can see it, the legs slowly coming down. Alright, let's get some air into this. Wow, very funky, earthy nose. It's like, you know, kind of like a wet forest floor, kind of like peat moss. You know, that whole kind of wet, kind of damp, green kind of thing happening. You do have some, you know, some dark fruit, dark cherries, dark raspberries happening, but they're kind of overshadowed, really, by that funky earthiness, which, you know, can be appealing to a lot of people. It just depends on your palate. Don't let those critics fool you, man. Stay true. You know what you like. Let's give it a taste. Almost had an accident there. We don't edit those out, by the way, here on Winegazer. Yeah, you got nice fruit on the palate. You got a lot of nice, bright, acidic, sour fruit, and you know, the cherries are kicking and they're alive. You got some really nice, like, baked jammy plum to accompany that. Yeah, good tannins. Again, we got a 2009. I think it could sit for another year or two before you could really start to enjoy it more. Yeah, that kind of funkiness is starting to subside a little bit too. This wine's got pretty good structure. I don't really get that sweet roundness, that sensation that I was getting from the first wine, which is, if somebody was going to describe Merlot, a lot of times they actually use that term, you know, round, soft, fleshy. So, not quite getting as much of that. I think this also could, you know, based on its structure, you know, I would say maybe 7 years max in the cellar, and I wouldn't probably start peaking after that. I'm going 3 out of 5 stars on the Cakebread Cellars Merlot. Solid effort. Do another rinse. Okay, so next wine, 2008 Twomey, Napa Valley Merlot, and this is exciting because this is the first of their single vineyard designated wines that they're going to do to a whole series of wines to highlight specific vineyards in different areas of California. So I know they also have Bien Nacido Pinot Noir coming out. But this is from the Soda Canyon Ranch in the southeast part of the Napa Valley. 92% Merlot, 8% Cabernet Franc, $50 US, 13.7% alcohol, and 13 months French oak, 39% new, 23% once used, and then the rest of it was, you know, very used French oak. So just you know, 3 different levels of French oak barrels that they're using in terms of new, once used, and very old. It's interesting, if you didn't know this, I bet you didn't, that Twomey is the effort of the Duncan family, who is, yes, the family behind Silver Oak Cabernet Sauvignon. That's right, for more than 30 years they've been producing Silver Oak Cabernet Sauvignon. So this is their Merlot brand. And it's very interesting because the winemaker from Chateau Petrus, Jean-Claude Barry, he came over. He's been in Chateau Petrus since '64, and he was looking for a new challenge. He wanted to do a project in California, and he saw what was going on with the Merlot program at Twomey. He saw the potential, and he wanted to get involved, and he contacted them. So, I mean, really a lot of great stuff, a lot of pedigree, a lot of tradition behind this wine brand, and I'm extremely excited to try it. So, let's give it a pour. Pretty label, by the way. Take a look at that. So, single vineyard Merlot from Napa. Alright, so take a look at the color. You got a dark garnet, and then you kind of got some purple highlights around the edges. Not sure if you can pick that up on the real high-tech camera here at Winegazer, but hopefully you can. Get some more air into this puppy. You know, getting that oxygen in helps to, you know, get those nuances on your nose, to pick them out. If you're wondering, why am I doing this? Why is this idiot swirling his wine glass? Yes, it's to get air into there, to oxygenate it, and so that you can really pick up those different components on the nose. Let's give it a smell. And again, you have this nice chalky component that's going on. I like it, as you know. Yeah, gorgeous sour cherries again. Very ripe plum. You got some nice black licorice also. Oh man, it's a wonderful dark chocolate aroma that's weaving its way through as well. little bit of spice, a little vanilla. Very pretty nose, a little vegetal notes too, a little bit of like bell pepper coming through as well. Very nice. All right, let's give it a taste. Yeah. Real nice mouthfeel. I would say medium to heavy bodied on the palate. Great acidity. This wine is extremely well balanced. It's really, the fruit, the wood, the acid, the tannins, everything is really playing well together. And 2008, this wine's ready to drink right now. Tannins are gorgeous on this wine, and I like the complexity, I like the concentration. This wine, again, I said it before, but the structure is wonderful. I could go 10 years in the cellar, I'm saying no problem. And one more shot at it. This is really good. Mid palate, solid. The finish, it's really strong. It's got great length to this wine too. I mean, I'm still just enjoying, again, these fruit flavors on the palate. It's a tiny bit of savoriness too at the kind of end of the finish. A little saltiness. It's really intriguing, and I'm really enjoying this wine. I'm going 4 out of 5 stars on the Twomey. Great effort. So these wines are fantastic, man. I'm sorry. I mean, if you're not drinking Merlot at all, where have you been? You got to get back. Just have one, once a month. It's not going to kill you. What's the last time you had a Merlot? It's a good question, actually. I'd like to hear about it. When was the last time you had a Merlot? What was it? And give me a little review on it. What'd you think of it? So, I recommend you check these guys out online. Coho Wines, Cakebread.com, and Twomey.com, and all fine examples, solid examples of what the great Merlot can do in California. So, let's talk about food pairings for a minute. Obviously, steak and lamb are good choices, burgers, any kind of grilled meat, lamb, even chicken, roasted turkey. So, this time of year, for some of you, are having a big roasted turkey dinner. Actually, Merlot is a great pairing for roasted turkey, and it often gets overlooked, and it's a shame. Other solid pairings that people overlook are salmon and Merlot, another good pairing, and it goes really well with full flavored cheeses, pasta dishes, tomato sauce, meat sauce, pizzas. Solid choices to pair up with Merlot. So I hope I opened your eyes. I hope that you are going to go out and drink some Merlot. I hope you're going to tell your friends to drink some Merlot, and because it's back, baby, and it's here to stay. So I hope you enjoyed this episode. Thank you so much for tuning in. Until next time, cheers.